Hello, my divinities. Welcome, welcome. Just cleansing the area. I want to remind you guys how grateful I am for your presence. How, honestly, it is so refreshing when I go through reading the comments and I see how much you guys have grown. It's just, I don't know if there's ever anything that tops that, really, that makes that any less exciting, regardless of how many times I see it. It's wonderful. I am so proud of so many of you. I'm I'm honestly speechless. I don't even know how to express how proud I am of you guys. But I just want to say that. So a reminder, starting November 1st, the $1 tier will be gone. Just so y'all know and don't start asking where it went. So we're going to be using the Kali Oracle today. I feel a very Kali vibe. So, okay. We got Kika Tantrika, Anahata Kali, Kali Yantra. This one's going to be long, very long. Moksha of Kali, because these cards are long. Okay. So let's see. Let's start with the Moksha. Number 39. Okay. This one says, her passionate desire for your liberation is unflagging, and so your relief shall come swiftly. She is speaking to you from within. She is the voice of reassurance. Can you hear her? Trust her. Soon you will see things in a better light. You are going to be liberated from the struggle you are currently experiencing. Be true to yourself and your life path, and you will attract the way forward as obstacles disappear. Do not turn away, for you are destined to overcome all opposition, bringing your sacred path to fruition. Moksha is a Sanskrit term meaning freedom in the sense of complete self-actualization and spiritual liberation. It refers to the attainment of enlightenment and is considered the final release from involuntary suffering. The distinction between voluntary and involuntary is made because at a high level, certain divine beings will take on the experience of suffering to assist those who are yet to experience moksha. They help to carry the load and move others forward. Our love for another, our compassion for their pain, may make us wish we could take on their suffering so they no longer need to struggle. This is counter to the divine perspective of higher beings. They enter into the realm of suffering to assist all. The divine understands the purpose of suffering, that it can lead us towards wisdom, strength, and ultimately empowerment. There is an art to alleviating suffering without depriving the soul of the growth it can bring. There are loving divine beings of great wisdom willing to help those trapped in suffering at all times. We can call for assistance whenever we find our pain difficult to bear, including the anguish we feel when faced with struggles of others. These divine beings have sufficient wisdom and higher understanding to help in ways that create benefits for all. There are times when suffering is so great that it threatens to overwhelm the soul. Perhaps that intense degree of suffering is a result of accumulated unresolved pain of generations of ancestors resting upon the spiritual shoulders of one family member, brave enough to admit the truth when the others are trapped in delusion and denial. Similar situations can arise in a societal, religious, cultural, or corporate context. Intensified suffering can be an initiation for a particularly talented soul who has the potential to bring light and freedom to the world. To achieve this, that soul must learn to deal with the darkness in equal measure. That typically entails periods of intense struggle until the best methods are realized to find peace and awareness without being overcome by pain. Many mystics report dark nights of the soul, a struggle with negativity, suffering, and pain of various kinds that last for a long time. They are not failing on their spiritual path. They are at an advanced level. They are willing to engage with their struggles because of their great love for the truth, the light, for the divine, in whatever form resonates for their hearts. Nothing can make them turn away from that great love. Higher love is the power that fuels moksha. It fuels the release from suffering. It is spiritual juice to keep doing the inner work, to seek the path through and refuse to give up, to see the path through and refuse to give up, even if we are still figuring out what our persistence is going to look like today. The Moksha of Kali teachers The Moksha of Kali teaches us that our suffering is no source of shame, but rather a badge of spiritual honor, acknowledging that we are deep on the soul's healing pathway. However, that doesn't mean that the more we suffer, the more spiritual we become, and the more spiritual we become, the more we have to suffer. It means our capacity to process our suffering increases. And in that increase, we experience more sunshine through the clouds, moments of peace, liberation, and higher understanding. Rather than a way of life, periods of suffering become like toxins our body, mind, and soul needs to process and release, perhaps akin to digesting a meal but on a multi-level scale. The oracle brings the message of relief and realization. There is much you will accomplish through your own efforts, and much more that can be accomplished if you include regular prayers for assistance from the divine as part of your lifestyle. If you have been working hard on an issue and wondering if it will ever give way to an improved set of circumstances, the oracle indicates that yes, a time of freedom from this difficulty is on its way. Wonderful. And remember, pray. Pray to whoever it is that you serve and ask them for answers and relief. Okay, Kika Tantrika. Our wild mother goddess overcomes duality, resting in the sweet spot of integration, healing, and creativity. She facilitates the overcoming of tension and conflict, birthing sacred solutions and evolution into greater bliss. Kika Tantrika is Kali, the tantric queen. She overcomes all karma, realigns pathways when we have veered off course, reverses the momentum of negative uses of free will, and detaches draining energy cords, restoring us to full vitality. Her presence announces significant change and positive improvement in all aspects of your life, especially your spiritual life. The Tantra of Kali is the teaching of the eminence of the goddess. Her appearance in a reading indicates a time when the feminine principle must be in the dominant position. This is not a declaration that the feminine is superior. It is equal to the masculine, yet different. It is a recognition that the feminine is the holding and birthing energy. To shift from one way, paradigm, or political structure, the feminine must lead. As Kali, she disrupts negative power structures and holds the space for something completely new to emerge from the rubble. The simplest way to describe the eminence of the goddess is that it's the deep respect for intuitive knowing and action taken on the non-rational yet deeply insightful instincts of the heart. This is not about being emotionally reactive. There are multiple expressions of this sacred tantric inversion, placing the sacred feminine in the leadership position and deconstructing patriarchy. We practice it when listening to our intuition with complete courage, rather than going against our inner knowing for the sake of logic. Another is reversing the flow of what has been generated. This may mean halting a path you wanted to travel but have now come to realize is not honoring of your heart. It could be a breaking down of what has been established because it has become too restrictive and needs to be rebuilt in a new way, or perhaps released altogether. Remember, that which appealed to the caterpillar is not going to tempt the butterfly. As the soul evolves, our needs and desires often undergo a profound transformation too. Tantric teachings resonate less with the clean, tidy, and methodical approaches and more with wild, spontaneous shamanic energies innately turned to and responsive to life. The primal force of the feminine is moving you along your soul journey at present. To tune into that primal power requires loosening at the mental grip over your life. Allow for more space, more flexibility. If your schedule is so tightly wound that every minute is accounted for, set the intention to slacken the reins. The feminine needs freedom. She cannot be crammed into minimal spaces and expected to thrive. If you try to control her, she will rebel, and when she is Kali, her rebellions topple kingdoms. It is possible to heal and transform, even radically, without evoking her wrathful nature if you are open to her guiding presence. Her wrath is love, so we need not fear it. But it can certainly be a welcome change of pace for powerful shifts to be able to happen with grace and ease. When Kali Tantrika arises in your reading, you are encouraged to listen to your gut and allow for wisdom to emerge. Act according to instinct and let go of methods that do not resonate with your heart. Even if your mind tells you that not following those methods will lead to failure. The Tantra of Kali is the practice of unconditional trust in the feminine. Her ways are unpredictable, apparently ever changing. And when she manifests as Kali, if you try to pin her down and control her, she's likely to lop off the offending appendage. Instead, we submit to her, entering into the black void of possibilities and not knowing, with the realization that even when we don't know what is going on, the divine feminine does. If we willingly open to her sacred knowledge, rather than try to impose our will and logic and desire upon her, she will show us what is going to work best. This is a time when the heart knowing must lead above the intellectual assessment of things. It is also when we are best moved by a greater guiding intelligence, rather than doggedly sticking to a plan and trying to assert ourselves. The feminine is not as direct in her approach as the masculine. Her seeds germinate in darkness. Her creative methods are not always seen, yet are powerful. The oracle brings encouragement that even though it seems like your will is being thwarted, or you are not getting what you want right now, or you just wish you could have clarity and know your direction, you are still making progress. Things are coming together in the best way, and something is growing that is aligned with the divine plan you were born to fulfill. You are encouraged to restore your inner energies and move when you feel inspired rather than thrusting forward in an attempt to make progress. The goddess knows what she's doing. Her actions will benefit you and all beings profoundly. Allow her to have her way. Okay. Anahata Kali, let's see. Beautiful, powerful Mother of the Sacred Universal Heart who lives within our hearts as the wisdom and healing power of love. Your heart knows how to heal and how to open, how to break and repair itself to become stronger and wiser than before. Your heart cannot be contained or constrained by what has taken place. Your heart wisdom and empowerment are growing. Soon, you shall have the wisdom and courage to accomplish something very important for your soul journey. Trust in the invisible workings of divine love. Let your heart be at peace. The journey of the soul is the journey from the head to the heart. Anahata is the Sanskrit name for the heart chakra. Anahata Kali is the goddess who secures the awakening, transformation, and liberation of the heart. Love is her expression. When Kali Ma touches the heart, it becomes capable of love that is increasingly unconditional, fearless, and compassionate. Such empowerments often manifest through loss and betrayal. In responding to such challenges, we grow our heart's capacity for love, processing and healing emotions of grief, betrayal, and anger. Our heart becomes stronger through the process. The human heart is capable of overcoming enormous negativity. It is an astonishingly powerful and beautiful temple of spirit. We can underestimate the extraordinary power of the heart by focusing on its sweetness, love, and light as though they were weak to the anger, fear, or the consuming intensity of grief. We can only begin to understand the spiritual worlds and how they operate when we let go of the human perspective. A human believes that the heavier and denser something is, the more powerful it is. A heavy emotion like anger or physical situations that appear gridlocked are given more weight than the intangible realms of spirit. Yet, spirit is behind all things, in all things. Being invisible does not impede its effectiveness. If anything, it enhances it. For something so seemingly invisible, love has unconquerable power. We affirm this in expressions such as love can move mountains or love will always find a way. Yet, we are conditioned to believe that there is more power in what we can see and control rather than the spiritual power of love. Such conditioning pulls us away from heart connection and into the fear-based belief that we need to control things or there will be no benefit, no safety, no happiness. Sorry, there was a bug on my arm. Okay. However, we can never be safe if we are disconnected from the spiritual home of the heart where all healing, wisdom, true guidance, spiritual protection, and regenerating vitality resides. The backlog of emotional pain stored in our hearts can sometimes cause us to shut down, even when we know that in closing down our hearts, we lose out on love's joy and wisdom. We may go through the motions of living, but without the real emotional juice and revitalizing engagement with life. Kali Anahata brings a message from the Divine Mother that she is supporting you in healing your heart. She wants you to connect to more profound joy in life. As you trust yourself and trust in her, you can heal even long-term karmic scars. You can learn to return to love, to be in love, to live the love within your ever beautiful heart. For those who live from the heart space, it can be hard to remember what it was like before. Yet many still live in such a way, driven by fear, plagued with anxiety, hardened through living in a way that is oppressive to the spirit. The oracle asks you to acknowledge how far you've come and where you would like to go, not so much in terms of external markers, but in terms of emotional freedom. If you have been focusing on healing a specific issue in your life, the oracle indicates you have the strength, wisdom, and courage of heart to accomplish that. For those who have had their heart broken in love, in spiritual communities, by friends, by family members, by God, or by life itself, the message here is that something deeper is taking place. The shattering of structures, even of ideals, gives the heart the opportunity to break free and open up to a greater and more satisfying experience and expression of love. Becoming non-defensive, softening, and opening to spirit with unconditional trust places you in a position of astonishing protection, empowerment, and grace. Keep your heart open to the Divine Mother. Through that openness, the right thing shall emerge at the right time. The walls we build around our hearts need to be broken down so we can fulfill our sacred purpose and path. Trust that the pains of your past do not have a place in your future. No matter what appears to be, she knows the way through. Temper your fierce emotions without denying them. Keep bringing yourself back to your center. Continue to find the moderate and peaceful resting place within, even as you make radical progress on your path. The oracle predicts the successful completion of a time of spiritual initiation. Grace yourself with the gift of relief and trust that all is well. Wow, okay. Last but not least, number 12, Kali Yantra. Okay. This one says, she is your inner power to evoke a positive shift in your circumstances. If anything required for success be lacking, the Divine Mother shall provide it, bridging the divide between you and the manifestation of your intentions. You are crossing a critical spiritual threshold. She is the true guardian and guide. Stay focused on what matters to your heart, and you shall remain faithfully connected to her protective presence within. Allow distractions to fall away and continue to commit to your soul journey. A more beautiful experience of your life path awaits you. A yantra, which is this thing here, a yantra is a sacred geometric representation of the particular reality of a specific divine being. Here, it is a symbol, an actual entry point into the sacred realm, the inner world, the universe of Kali. In gazing at a yantra, allow our minds to settle and focus upon it. The soul can turn the subtle inner key that opens the gateway to merging with the divine. Wow, the pressure in the room just changed. Interesting. Okay. It is a visual trigger that opens the inner doors of higher perception and mystical reconnection to our divine nature. Contemplating a yantra is a method for mystical meditation, the meditation that brings the heart into unity with the higher consciousness of Kali within. As we activate the yantra within our beings and connect with the divine energy it offers, the enlightened body of the deity constellates itself through us. The clearer we are within ourselves, and the more connected we become with the deity, the stronger the multi-level, multi-dimensional, multi-directional mandala of grace shines forth through us for the spiritual benefit of all beings. In a reading, this signifies that Kali is already working with you. The Kali Yantra in particular is a signifier of the downward flow of grace. It is oriented to the material world and all matters related. It is the cosmic trip switch for spiritual energy to be attracted towards Earth. It unveils the divine luminosity beneath appearances and, when needed, heals and transforms material reality to align with higher divine will. The yantra of Kali is alchemical and reconstructive. The healing that can emerge through it is unrestricted because she is the spacious vastness of primordial being. She is the birth of all phenomena, which permeates all phenomena, and can transform it all according to her divine will. In a reading, this indicates a transformation of a physical concern, so it aligns with the spiritual will of the universe. The downward-facing triangle formations in the center of the yantra symbolize the regenerative power of the divine feminine. You only have to look at how our Earth Mother recovers after fire, flood, and famine to recognize the wisdom power of the divine feminine to renew and restore even after tremendous destruction. The color red is the blood red of life force, Kali's preferred fuel for destruction and rebirth. Gray represents the liminal realms, neither the black of night nor the brightness of day, but the place in between. Many cultures recognize this as the medial realm, a place where magic is most potent. Although Kali is associated with waning moon cycles and darkest night, she is also a medial goddess, a soul doula, a birth and death mother, safely guiding us through the transitions and thresholds of our inner and outer lives. In our reading, this indicates that there is power in feeling as though you no longer belong to the past, nor are anchored fully in a new way. Kali will manifest her will in the spaces of unknowing, molding, and guiding you from within, so your path will be fulfilling to your heart. The subtle channels of energy unlocked through intentional engagement with yantras are further empowered through the placement of hands in a particular posture called mudra, which is this here. The Kali mudra is created by interlocking your fingers and placing your left thumb over the right with the index fingers together and extended to an upward pointing position. The energy channels of the body are more readily permeated with Kali's essence of fearlessness and strength through assuming this posture. The strong, direct nature of the mudra with the left thumb on top generates clarity of action from feminine wisdom and receptivity, rather than masculine logic and will to direct. Let your instincts rather than your logic lead you forward at this time. In connecting with the yantra, amplified by the mudra, we are powerfully invoking Kali. On a human level, that empowers us to use a physical, emotional, and psychological obstacles and pain to broker our transformation. As you become increasingly attuned to the feeling and sensation of Kali's presence, you will be able to sense her power coursing through your subtle body as you assume the mudra and view the yantra with conscious intention to connect with her. If you have been feeling weak or vulnerable, remember that you are a powerful divine being. You do not need to act from fear. Instead, trust the inner guidance of the heart as to how and when to act. Finally, this oracle is a notice of supreme protection. If you suspect that you have been the subject of negative energy work or projections from others, that you are being blocked or sabotaged, intentionally or otherwise, the oracle of Kali Yantra is the medicine of clearing and protection that shall nullify the effect. There is no need to dwell upon negative workings of power, nor be intimidated by worldly authority. Place your faith in the ultimate power of the divine. Okay. So it feels like the biggest message that is coming through to me, the moksha represents somebody is going through deep pain, and it could be that this pain, this suffering is a result of energy work being done. However, it's almost like Kali is saying, don't be scared of it. Use that energy. Allow them to send you whatever energy they want, and I'm going to guide you into taking that power and using it to aid your own growth and transformation. Amazing. So, let's start the reading. King of Cups. Oh, this is interesting. Guys, this is wild. I want to show you this. So I put the Palo Santo over here, and look at this. The whole bowl lit up. And that is wild. I've never seen that. And this bowl, it has ashes, but it also has crushed incense. And the incense is black. It's, oh, here. It's this one. It's myrrh, which is very cleansing. But look at this. I've used this bowl so many times. This has never happened, which tells you it's like a sign that there's like a lot of healing and cleaning that needs to be done. I would highly suggest that you put like an intense spiritual cleansing on your home. I've never had this happen before. Look at that. Look at that thick ass smoke. And I did not do that on purpose. Okay. So, just thought I would share that. That's wild. The smoke is very heavy. Okay. I don't know who they're trying to cleanse out, but let's keep going. You know what? I feel like I have an idea what's happening. Let's see. 5 of Wands. I'm going to share, as I pull the cards, I'm going to share something that happened very recently. I woke up from this nightmare. 3 of Pentacles. And it was a nightmare because it was creepy as hell. In the nightmare, Page of Swords. I felt almost like, you know, when you're in deep, deep sleep and someone is trying to wake you up. I felt almost drugged and I could hear somebody calling me, but it sounded so far away and it felt like my inner child. And so I was like trying to force my eyes to open. Like, what is that? 4 of Swords, the Star. I was trying to force myself to wake up. Like, what the hell is this? The Hierophant. And in the dream, I was like, you know how your eyes, when you're sleeping, you try to open them, they like crack open little bits. I would crack them open because I was like trying to force myself to wake up and open my eyes. And I could hear her. She was saying, wake up, wake up. Can't you see he's hurting me? And I was like, what the fuck? And so I was fighting the sleep. I was fighting this. I felt sluggish. I felt like my whole body was drugged, honestly, is what it felt like. And I was fighting my own body to wake up. And I started like sending a lot of energy to my limbs so I could move my limbs because I just felt like heavy. And when I would crack my eyes open, I saw like I was lying on my bed and like there was a man sitting on the bed, but I couldn't see his face. His back was turned to me. He was turning in a different direction. And the voice, the little girl's voice, my inner child's voice was coming like he was holding her and I couldn't see what he was doing to her. But all I could hear was her telling me, help me, wake up. Can't you see he's hurting me? Why aren't you helping me? And I was like panicking, like, oh my God. And I finally put this huge surge of energy through my body and I woke up. So I feel like that was a warning, like someone was trying to do something. And this just kind of confirms it. And then we've got a King of Cups, Hierophant energy. I knew this. I knew the Mage was going to come out. 7 of Swords. Oh boy. Okay, so I loved the Moksha of Kali because it's almost reminding us that the higher up we go on the spiritual food chain, it's not that we choose to be in spiritual wars, but it means we will have to face more suffering in some ways. Not that we won't receive more blessings as well, but it's like people want to do shit, you know? And we kind of have to get used to transmuting that energy often. Because from what I can see here, somebody here is at war with you. The collective is showing up as the Star. And the person who has declared war on this Star, they're the ones that see you as the Star. I'm not the one telling you. Wow, this is wild. This little... I don't know if I'm going to have to pour water on it because like the little bowl itself is getting hot. Hold on, guys. I have to stir it around a little bit. It releases a lot of smoke, but I don't want the bowl to like explode. It's selenite. I don't know how much heat it can take. It's not intending to burn, was not intending to burn incense in it. Anywho, there is, this person sees you as the star. So whatever it is that you're doing in whatever area of life, you are a badass to this person. So much so that it's pissing them off. They're spying on you. This might have been somebody who wanted to collaborate with you, or if they did not want to collaborate with you, they may be collaborating with others, because we do have Hierophant, Queen of Swords, and the Mage here with the Seven of Swords. So either the Mage and the Queen of Swords, one of them is the Hierophant, or the Hierophant and the Mage are the ones that this person is collaborating with. One of the two. That could be it. But the Four of Swords, I definitely think this has to do with your dreams. Especially if you've noticed that your dreams more recently are more... Honestly, that's the only nightmare I personally had, but some of you may have been having more intense nightmares or more intense reactions to different things that you're seeing in your dreams. Hold on. Let me, again, move this around a little bit. I'm trying to distribute the heat because it's scaring me. I don't want my desk to catch on fire because of the heat. This is wild. I've literally never seen that happen. Anywho, so let's stop part one here. I know, I'm sorry, but these were a lot, and I don't want to go too long on part one, so I'm gonna stop part one here. Part two will be on Patreon. If you're already here, then I'll see you on the other side.